Delta 547, wind 19016, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 22 right, clear for takeoff, Delta 547.
Taxi via
Air traffic controllers protect our nation's airways. These are the stories of real air traffic controllers to boldly deliver a safe, orderly, and expeditious flow of air traffic from their departure point to their final destination.
Wind 19016, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 22 right, clear for takeoff, Delta 547.
Jack, you doing okay over there? You're awful quiet. We usually have some kind of an accident or incident story that comes out of you.
Oh, I don't know, but let me tell you a fam trip story, okay?
Bring it.
I took a ride on a DC-9 from St. Louis back to Bush, and we boarded the airplane out of the tarmac, and you climb up the stairway. And I was the last one in line because I was on a fam trip, and I had my badge, and the captain had the window open, and he saw me. I said, I got near the stairwell, climb up, and he said, hey, I got a seat for you right now. And the guy looked like the man that flew the B-52 in that movie.
Failsafe?
How to Love the Bomb. What was it?
Dr. Strangelove.
Dr.
Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove. I mean, you look like the guy that flew that B-52. And I got in a jumpsuit of that DC-9. You remember the DC-9 jumpsuit? I mean, I thought, man, I don't know if I want to fly with this guy, but he was funny.
You sit in that jumpsuit, you and the crew could get very intimate.
Yeah.
So, did anybody take a fam trip where anything ever happened?
Well,
yeah.
the one that I took, I was actually in Maine. I was still a controller in the Air Force, and I was flying Command Airlines, and they had a DC-3 aircraft that I was in the cockpit of. And when you got in there, they had the old radio that had like the wind up before, you key the mic and it wind up and transmit. And I was wearing a friend of mine's jacket, and it was a felt jacket because I didn't own a jacket. I was just, 17, 18 years old in the military. Very, very few clothes for a civilian life. And the flight attendant came up and she goes, "Does anybody like anything to drink?" And the captain said, "Yeah, I'll have a Coke." And this guy here says, "I'll have a hot chocolate." And I said, "No, I don't want anything." I'm fine, right? So when she comes up to deliver the hot chocolate and Coke to the pilots, as she was reaching, he hit turbulence. I think it was turbulence. All that stuff went up in the air, and I could just see it hanging there. And then it went all over this guy's felt jacket. And I thought, oh my God, and it was hot. But I didn't care about the heat. I was worried about how am I going to clean this thing. That was the only incident that I really had in that.
Tom had an engine failure coming out of Vegas, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh.
I had gone to Vegas, me and Herb Garner, but he went on a different airline. And I went on,
I mean, you weren't in the same jumpsuit? That never happened?
but anyway, we get to Vegas. Everything's fine. We get through what we're doing. We get back on the airplane. Well, we're going down, we're going opposite direction, we're going towards the mountains of Vegas. We hit the 5000 V1, and he starts doing this. Boom! Black smoke was coming out. So we're committed, so we're going up. And he could make a pass by the towers. He says, "Yeah, you're trailing smoke." So we had to go all the way out to the dump box out there and dump fuel. So before we would dump fuel, we had to call New York to get permission to dump fuel. It was in the 80s, back when fuel was very expensive. So everything was fine. Pilot was bald, just about like him. And sweat just coming off the back of his.
You'll love it or catch a prayer.
Come to find out, it was a T-duct that had blown in number one engine. Well, number one engine drives the hydraulics. And I didn't know this, but anyway, we're coming back to land, and the flight engineer, that's when we had 3 in the crew, jumps, pulls the panel, takes the starts cranking down the gear. I said, "Okay, it's going to get interesting." So we landed, everybody clapped. One of these deals. So I'm sitting at the door with the captain, letting people go in, and everybody's congratulating the captain. I happened to have 2 guys that I knew from Conroe. 2 of them were lawyers. He says, "Tom, how long are we going to be?" I said, can be, 2 hours, it can be all day, it can be next day before we get out. Yeah, well, we're down about $10,000. We're gonna go back to Vegas, try to get our money back. I said, okay. So I'm staying around. About 2 hours later, they come back, they get their money back. They're pulling their bags and we're gonna spend the night now. They lost twice as much money.
That never lasts.
And then one time I was with one company, it was National, coming out of LA. And I'm sitting in the back of the pilot, it was DC-10. And he said, we're gonna have food, you want some food? I said, airline food? No, forget it. So he said, we're gonna have food. I said, okay. So I'm sitting around looking, we're climbing out. We go to Albuquerque Center, and the guy's just constantly talking, busy. And I said, Captain, I don't know very much. But there's 747 over there, it looks like the same altitude we're at, going southbound to Mexico. On J20? They were J20 went down there. And I says, what do you think? He said, would you hold my food? I said, okay. And you can see him, he started to pull back on the yoke, and pull on the speed. We got right behind him and hit the wake turbulence. He turned around and said, what do you think I should do? I said, don't turn off your transponder. And you could hear the voice change. And whoever it was, got pulled out, yanked.